The burnout crisis. In an organization, when there is recognition of a burnout crisis, often what we're seeing is much more extraction from employees than input into employees. And the ripple impact of burnout is that it impacts employees' health, it impacts relationships, productivity, career development, and yet many times employees regularly experience burnout on the job, even though we know that these ripple impacts are occurring. In fact, a lot of the research around burnout will demonstrate in surveys and assessments that about 67% of employees will state that they have experienced burnout sometimes, very often, or always in the workplace. So if we think about a rating of 1 to 5, then we're getting ratings of 3, 4, and 5 by 67% of the employee base. That's a lot of people experiencing not just the symptoms of burnout, but also the ripple impact of burnout. And when we're experiencing burnout, the downside, of course, is that we have sick days, more sick days. About 63% of individuals experience burnout will take a sick day. So then we lose, obviously, from an organizational standpoint, productivity. We also have about 23% of those individuals are likely to visit the emergency room. So their burnout is quite extreme. And they're 2.3% times more likely to leave their employer. When we consider initiatives around employee well-being, the thing to consider are initiatives that develop community. In emotional intelligence, the interpersonal relationship realm of emotional intelligence, the community realm of emotional intelligence, is a critical realm for well-being. Because we can probably all relate to this. The quality of our connections, of our relationships, directly influences how much joy or happiness we experience on a regular basis. And if we're lacking in those kinds of relationships where we get to experience joy and happiness, then we're taking a hit to our well-being. And when our well-being decreases, our performance decreases. And so what to do? One of the things that I have developed is a 30-day challenge. A community-based, organizational-based 30-day challenge on well-being, the 4 emotional intelligence skills directly related to an employee's well-being. Relationships, self-regard, so how we feel about ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, our confidence level. Self-actualization, our willingness to pursue something new, to be learning, to seek meaning and fulfillment, and optimism. Despite setbacks, we remain hopeful. Now, in this particular challenge, there's been some really awesome feedback from organizations that I've received from the individuals participating in it. And this kind of feedback comes within the first week. Things like, I'm loving starting my day focused on gratitude and intentionally looking at how I'm practicing my emotional intelligence. It starts me on the right foot every day. And another piece of feedback, when I read on the win wall a peer's experience, I say, oh, I had no idea. And immediately I notice a shift in my perspective. And that shift is bringing me closer to my coworkers. Community in an organization is what it becomes a barrier, an armor, a solution to things like burnout, which becomes the solution to things like employee disengagement, lack of retention, and low levels of well-being.